Okay, it's crunch time. One of the things on my plate for today is I need to go get the steak pockets off of that old 1938 GMC bed, that wheat hauler bed. Oh, I love a day like this. After a rain, the air is so clear, the mountains look like you can just reach out and touch them. I never take for granted the beauty that surrounds me. Anyway, there's a gentleman in Michigan who has got himself a Model T truck, I believe he said, and he wants those steak pockets. They are quite ornate. I think they're cast iron. It's been too dry to go out there and try to cut them off. I was just going to burn the whole thing and then dig them out of the rubble, and because I figured he was going to paint them all up, but he said no, he wanted to keep them like they are, and I'm happy about that because they are beautiful just the way they are. You know, nature has patinaed them. So it's been so dry I couldn't take the torch out there and try and heat those nuts up and get them loose and get them off in decent condition. And I want to try and keep them in good condition for him. I'm not charging him much for them. Winding up putting a lot of time into them probably, but that's okay. They're going to a good home, and that makes me happy. So I'm going to do that since it rained. Boy, it dumped last night and it dumped this morning, and so there's no fire danger right now. I can take my torch out there and start heating up those old square nuts and try to get them off. I hope I don't have to cut them off. I'm hoping I can just heat them up and not damage those steak pockets. But anyway, yeah, crunch time here. I've got to get that done. I need to get this thing out. Got to get that donor truck in here and get it tore apart and get the parts I need, and then start tearing this one apart and get those other parts swapped out, because the guy who's going to paint it is going to be shutting his shop down pretty soon. And I guess I don't know if he's retiring or getting out. I don't know what he's doing, but Harmon said he's going to be shutting down. So we got to get this thing done. And I really need, it's already Wednesday, and I need to get something done on this truck to give Harmon something to work on this weekend when he comes up. So I really like to get that bedside swapped out, but man, I don't know if that's going to happen. Yeah, he's decided that it'd be easier to change the bedside than to spend all the hours and hours prepping the inside of that other bed, whereas this one's done on the inside. It's got a few scrapes and scratches, and I don't care about that. This is my old work truck. I've said that over and over. But it was a pretty nice old work truck. So we're going to get it back to pretty nice again. So I got this door to swap and that fender up there, and a lot of work to do down there in that corner. But yeah, we're gotta get some stuff done around here. So I think first thing I'm gonna do is go try and get those steak pockets salvaged so I can get them mailed off to Peter. He's a nice guy. We talked on the phone, and he's a good guy, and I want to take care of him. He's already paid me for them, and I told him I wish he'd waited because I don't know what the shipping's going to be. It's going to be pretty healthy. But anyway, yeah, let's get busy. As Chevaholic says, let's get to crack-a-lackin'. Hello, boys and girls. Welcome back to Waylon Myers' Old Iron. Boy, the faster I go, the behinder I get. Struggling to knock out this red truck and try to get it done up and ready to go here, and so I can move on to that burn up Dojalac, so then I can move on to just trying to get back to square one. That's the way it goes sometimes. Yeah, I finally got those steak pockets cut off, them cast iron steak pockets off of that 1938 GMC wheat hauling truck. A gentleman back in Michigan wanted them, and I finally got those cut out for him. So they'll be on their way this week. I'll try to get them in the mail, and I've been working. I'm looking over here at this red truck, this donor truck, because I've been ripping parts off it to put on this red truck. Yeah, Yeah, just keep right after it, you know, one bite at a time. I should have been at about 25 bucks a piece on these things. My plan was just to burn the whole thing and then dig them out of the out of the rubble. But I want them to be nice for the guy, you know, since he's not going to paint them.
One eternity later.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to cut that one off. I can't get on the back up. They got round, bolts have got round heads on them.
Several hours later.
Well, I got the old red truck in here, the donor truck, and making a little progress. I got a fender pulled off, and you know, my video production here in the near future may be kind of sparse because I'm just going to be pulling parts off of this old truck and moving the bed back and getting that bedside off, and then doing the same thing over here. I'm going to learn on this one how it comes apart, and then I'll know what to do with this one. Hopefully so don't do a lot of damage. Anyway, yeah, I don't find any of this very interesting. Just pulling parts off of this truck, fenders and bedside. I don't know that that's video worthy. You know, maybe some video of Harmon straightening out that bed. Look how wrinkled up that bedside is. Of course, the one I need. The other one's perfect. Isn't it the way it goes? You know, this one's good, but the one I need is crumpled up. So anyway, I don't find it video worthy. So I don't want to bore you guys with it. I'd rather do something more interesting on video. So we'll see how it goes. Maybe a little update now and then, you know, just to see where the progress is. But I would intermittently make videos of something else that I'm doing around here, something a little more interesting, maybe the Dirty Dozen. But the thing is, I'm kind of under a deadline here because the guy who's going to paint this truck is going to shut down his shop. I don't know if he's retiring or just going to do something else, but yeah, he's going to shut down. So I got to keep crack-a-lacking on this thing, and that's okay. I don't want it sitting around like this forever anyway. So we'll keep giving her, and I'll see you when I see you. Thanks for watching. Well, I'm going to breakfast with some friends here in a little bit. And it's kind of a chilly morning, you know. Jimmy's been sitting out here a few days. Let's see if my old buddy wants to crank up. I don't know whether to choke it or not. Where can I put you guys? Hang you guys on the gun rack, I guess. Yeah, I'll give you a little choke just to see. Yeah, he likes a little choke on a cool morning, but not too much. Yeah, buddy. That's gonna go on the Dirty Dozen.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna have to use one of these tanks because I need more volume. See, it's got a 1/2 inch inlet, and I only got about a 3/8 here ID. So I think once I get enough volume, then it won't have to.
You won't have to tap it?
You won't have to jump start it. Yeah. That's pretty fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's cool sound.
Yeah. Sounds like one of the ferries coming into the dock over there. Guy in the Navy, guy retired from the Navy, said the only time he ever heard one actually use a horn was when they were coming out of dry dock. Thank you, Bridget. Harper and Bridger, we jammed a little bit on the guitars this morning, and Darren picked up one of his cars. He's still got two, I think, left here. They're headed back with one. Well, I guess the plan today is to take another bite of the elephant. I've got to try and pick that bed up and slide it back so I can get the bolts out of the front of that side panel. I just don't know. I don't quite know if I should be filming this or not. It's not really interesting content, but it's just kind of what's going on right now. And I can either film some less interesting content, or I can just not film. So I guess that's up to you guys. Yeah, just kind of on a deadline with this thing, and we've only got a few more days of beautiful weather like this, and I've got a lot to get done. I've got a time crunch on this thing, and I've got to get my snowplow truck in, and it doesn't even have a carburetor on that engine, so I've never heard it run. I've got to get that situated and get it going. Yeah, just a whole lot on my plate right now, but I don't know that it's good YouTube content. You guys let me know, I guess. I'll probably throw up a video showing some of this work, retrieving these panels and maybe trying to fit them up on this other rig here. Oh, don't y'all just love to watch old Waylon struggle? Sometimes one must get a bit persuasive. Now I can get to that bolt.
From the foothills of the Cascade Mountain Range to the banks of the Columbia.
You know, working on this thing, it reminded me of a video I did when I first got that little brown truck, that little half-ton short box, and I had it on the lift, and I was underneath here, and I was talking about the fact that the guy ordered that truck with a turbo 400 in it, and I was talking about the rear end. I said it's a 8 3/4 rear end, and well, one of my YouTube friends, RV Jerry, he was going on about, no, where's your floating axle? It's not a 3/4 ton. Where's your floating axle? Where's your 8 lugs and overload springs and all this stuff that would denote 3/4 ton? And that's not what I said. I had said 8 3/4 inch rear end. And but the funny part was, he said he was making his argument about all the points that would tell that it's not a 3/4 ton rear end, and he thought I had said it was, and his wife says, oh, let him have a 3/4 ton if that's what he wants. That cracked me up. But no, I never claimed it was a 3/4 ton. I know it's not. But it's odd that it came with that turbo 400 and that 8 3/4 inch rear end behind that little 256 cylinder. It doesn't make any sense. So I don't know. It's big block ready. Maybe the guy bought it new and was going to swap it out. Well, he ordered it, and I got the build sheet on it. Sure enough, that's what it came with. But there would be no reason to have that 8 3/4 inch rear end and a turbo 400 behind that little 6-cylinder. So maybe he had plans of swapping it to a big block or something. But he never did buy it. He backed out of buying it. So that's why my friend Dan wound up with the truck. He bought it new, and now I got it, and I'm happy about that, even though it's not a 3/4 ton. Okay. Bolts, 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 more bolts, on and on. Million bolts holding this side panel on. I just keep getting deeper and deeper. And the deeper I go, the harder everything gets. Well, if you and I just keep working at it, eventually we'll get it, I suppose. We're making just a little bit of progress. You can see where it's starting to separate. You know, it's starting to come apart from together up there. As Derek says, you can tell by the way that it is. But it's hard to tell what all's holding it together. You know, this is seam seal in here. But there was seam seal here, and also underneath it was a couple of big tack welds in there. Not real big, not Whalen wire tack welds by any means, but still, it's tacked together, so it's hard to tell what all's holding it together. I see a couple more tacks here I'm gonna have to cut out. And yeah, I don't know exactly how it separates, but I'm gonna have to know, and I will know by the time I start taking that other one apart. That was the goal, was to learn on this one and then know how to do the other one. So I'm just gonna keep after it. It's a big project. It's a big elephant. You gotta just, you know, like we said, one bite at a time. But yeah, it's a big elephant. If my old buddy Roy Luker was here, he'd say he's a big old pachyderm. See, I need to pick this bed up and slide it back a little bit so that I can get to the bolts in the front. And the back end's picking up pretty good. Got it up and got some blocks set under it. I got it far enough that the bolts are out of the frame, so it should slide back, but I'm not having much luck getting the front to come up yet, so still investigating that. I've even got my floor jack under there. And yeah, something's still bound up, so I'm just gonna block up the back end and then go take a look under the front some more. It's coming up pretty good. If I had enough hands to get a block under there. Gotta get high enough to clear those bolts. Get back in there. Keeps sliding out on me. There, get it up. Oh, nice. Yes. That's what I wanted. Boy, everything's going my way now. All right. If I could get a 1x4 under that, that would give me enough, maybe. To clear that bolt. That bolt's got to get out of that frame far enough to be able to slide that bed back. That might just barely clear it. Yeah, I think it might. Yeah, if I can do the same thing on the other side, I might be able to slide that bed back a little bit, and I'm gonna give it a try. All right, you guys watch this gap right here, and let me know if I'm making any progress. I'm gonna try to slide this bed back. So holler big and loud if it moves. Did it move? Is that enough? All right. It was enough to knock it off the blocks on the back. I had a little 2x4 set in there, and that's just perfect now to set still while I can get to those bolts in there. Yeah. Hard to say I wasn't giving up very easy. I thought it might have a tack weld in it, but it apparently does not. I guess it's going to come off. No, it's just taillight wires. Well, now then, if I can just recreate that process on the other truck without doing too much damage to the paint and all that, that would be great. That would be a success. So, I guess we'll just see how it goes. Appreciate you. Well, I sure do like how these extensions work. See that, how it cradles that frame? It just can't get out of there. That is solid as can be, and man, I wish I'd done that 15 years ago. Look at that. Well, you know what they say about hindsight. Well, fellers, that's going to do it, fellers and fellerettes. That's going to do it for this one. Probably about enough. It's kind of I don't know about this content. Not my best, I don't think, but you guys let me know if you want me to keep hammering away at this thing. I mean, I got to do this, but whether or not I film it and post it on YouTube, that's up to you. So we'll talk to you soon, and see you in the next video for sure, no matter what it may be. And until then, I want you to know that I sure do appreciate you. Thanks for watching.